Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Connor Semskier, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that went down while I was extremely addicted to Destiny. So, this was on the 2nd of October. It went right over my head, and I didn't see anyone talking about this on Twitter. I didn't really see any mentions of it on like the Reddit for COD Competitive or anything like that. So I don't really know why a lot of people weren't talking about this, so I figured I would bring it to your guys' attention if you didn't know already. So there are some huge, and I mean huge, changes coming to the GB ladder for Black Ops 3. So what will be happening is playoffs will be completely paid out for each team that actually competes, and there's going to be loads of different regulations. Playoffs are going to be not completely redesigned, but payouts are going to be a lot more scarce for actual playoff tournaments and other things. So let's get right into this. So the first thing that they did was remove prizing from playoff brackets. Now this is a pretty big deal because what would normally happen is you'd play with your team, and what a lot of people ended up doing was there would be like a double or triple XP day at the end of the season. You would grind like 20, 30 fucking games that whole entire weekend, and you'd be top page, no problem. You could be like 25, 30 and 0 and be top page, which is kind of stupid because there's teams that play the whole entire season. They'll have like 75 to 100 wins and they still won't be top page because the XP system on GB is slightly flawed. So that way if you lose like one game, that's the equality of XP for like 5 wins. So it's kind of unfair, and all these teams that have been grinding all season don't get an opportunity to go to playoffs. And the thing is, a lot of teams, they would actually get to playoffs and not compete. According to GB staff, 40% of ladder teams don't show up for their matches in the playoffs. That's insane. That means there's going to be so many buys. That's just going to drag everything out to like 6 to 10 hours long because you got to wait for them to not show up, and then you got to get an admin and all this other bullshit. It's a pain in the ass. And none of that anymore. Basically how it's going to work is you have to have 60 games played in order to be eligible for playoffs. But playoff prizing is completely redesigned as well. There's not going to be as much prizing for actually winning the tournament at the end of the season, the playoff tournament. That money, the core big like good chunk of money that they're going to distribute, is going to be to the top page teams. So top page striving is going to be extremely important in Black Ops 3. You're going to have to play the fuck out of XP matches, and if you're on top page, then it looks like you got a really good chance of making a few bucks. So you don't have to go grind all season and then play another tournament where you could have a bad day and play like shit and lose in playoffs. So the full season is going to be really important. Double XP days are going to be super important, and you're just going to have to play throughout the season. You're going to see a lot more people playing XP matches now, which I think is a good thing because Gamebattles XP has been kind of down the drain ever since UMG came out with their wagers. Now we have a real reason to play XP matches. But other than that, they added a couple like tweaks to the rules, like roster lock. They're going to be 2 weeks long, and you're going to have to play at least 10 matches during this time period to be eligible for playoffs and all the prizing that they give at the end. But other than that, it's just your typical old game battles. You're going to still play XP all season, whatever, but they're just trying to make this a little bit more competitive. They're going to make top page placement a lot more competitive. It'll give motivation to stick together as your team throughout the entire season so you can get those 60 matches in. It just makes everything a lot more competitive, and I do like that. I think game battles should be a lot more competitive rather than just some XP on a website. There's actually going to be a good distribution of prizes throughout more than just 1 to 2% of the people. So anyways, I hope this was somewhat informative to you guys. I had absolutely no idea about this, and this was like 3 weeks ago. But hey, I guess you learn something new every day. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.